What would your life look like if defeat was not an option? If every setback was simply a setup for your next victory? Imagine walking into every room, every opportunity, every challenge with the unshakable belief that you cannot lose. Not because life is easy, but because you have decided to act as if every outcome serves your success. That mindset, my friends, is where transformation begins. Belief is the starting point of all achievement, the unseen foundation upon which every great life is built. Everything you see in this world, the tallest buildings, the fastest machines, the greatest innovations, first existed as a thought in the mind of someone who dared to believe. Before a single brick was laid, before a single wheel turned, before a single invention came to life, there was belief. And so it is with your own life. The world outside you bends to the vision that is alive within you. You cannot act as if you cannot lose until you first convince yourself that victory is not only possible, but inevitable. Your mind is the blueprint, and it draws the lines of your destiny with every thought you allow to take root. If you see yourself as weak, defeated, or unworthy, then life will hand you evidence of weakness and defeat. But if you see yourself as strong, determined, and destined to win, then every circumstance, no matter how challenging, will ultimately serve that vision. Belief is not just wishful thinking. It is the architect of your reality. Think for a moment of the invisible power of belief in your daily life. When you believe a task is too hard, you hesitate, you shrink back, and you often fail before you even begin. But when you believe success is already yours, your mind sharpens, your body energizes, and your spirit refuses to quit. That shift alone is enough to transform ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. What you hold in your mind determines what you hold in your hands. You may ask, but how do I believe when the evidence around me shows failure, struggle, and limitation? The answer is simple. You must decide that your inner vision is stronger than your outer circumstance. You must learn to see with the eyes of faith, not the eyes of fear. Every great achiever who has walked this earth started in conditions that did not match the greatness they carried within. They were poor, overlooked, doubted, or even ridiculed. But their belief created a new reality. They chose to act in alignment with the life they envisioned, not the life others saw. Belief does not mean you will never stumble, nor does it mean the road will always be clear. Belief means you hold fast to the truth that no matter what happens, the outcome must bend to your persistence. You may face detours, but the destination is guaranteed if you refuse to abandon the vision. This is why you must guard your mind with discipline. Thoughts of doubt, fear, and worry are weeds. If you allow them to grow, they choke the harvest of your dreams. Each day you must feed your mind with certainty, with affirmations of strength, with images of victory. In doing so, you train your subconscious to align your actions, your habits, and your decisions with the outcome you desire. It is not enough to casually believe. You must saturate your being with the conviction that success is yours. Speak it until it becomes natural. Picture it until it feels familiar. Walk into every situation with the bearing of someone who has already won. The world will begin to respond to the vibration of your certainty. People will trust you more, opportunities will open to you, and even obstacles will begin to reveal hidden pathways forward. When you adopt this mindset, your life begins to operate under a new law, the law of expectancy. You no longer wait to see what happens. You expect the outcome to bend in your favor. That expectation shifts how you carry yourself, how you approach challenges, and how you recover from difficulties. The mind that believes cannot be broken because it will always find a way to turn loss into lesson and lesson into leverage. So I ask you, what blueprint are you drawing in your mind today? Are you sketching lines of limitation and defeat, or are you etching designs of victory, resilience, and triumph? Because one thing is certain, whatever you believe will manifest. Belief is the soil, and life is only capable of producing the harvest of what you plant. Decide now to believe that you cannot lose, and soon the world will have no choice but to agree with you. Failure is the word that frightens most people into retreat, yet it is the very experience that forges greatness. What many call failure is nothing more than life's way of testing your resolve, asking you if you truly mean what you say you desire. Every man and woman who has achieved anything extraordinary has walked through the valley of defeat more times than they can count, but they refused to let those moments define them. Instead, they allowed failure to instruct, to strengthen, and to shape their character into something unbreakable. You see, failure is never final unless you make it so. The instant you quit, the moment you surrender to discouragement, that is when failure claims victory over you. But if you rise again, if you study the lessons hidden in the ashes of defeat, then failure becomes fuel, an energy that propels you forward with greater wisdom, sharper focus, and a stronger will. Life never denies the persistent. It only delays them to prepare them for a victory worthy of their struggle. Consider the story of the inventor who tried thousands of times before success finally revealed itself. Each so-called failure was not a loss but a discovery, a step closer to the right path. With every attempt, he learned what would not work, which cleared the way to find what eventually did. Most people would have quit after the 10th attempt, or the 100th, or the 1000th. But the difference between those who achieve and those who remain defeated is simple. Achievers understand that failure is not the end, but part of the process. When you act as if you cannot lose, you must adopt this perspective. Every misstep becomes data. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every obstacle becomes a teacher. This mindset transforms pain into progress. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? You begin to ask, what is this trying to teach me? That simple shift ensures that no experience is wasted. Even your deepest setbacks carry seeds of future success if you are wise enough to look for them. Do not let the fear of failure paralyze you. Fear magnifies mistakes in your imagination until they seem unbearable, when in reality, they are merely small stepping stones along your journey. Fear says failure is fatal. Faith says failure is feedback. Which voice will you listen to? The one that imprisons you or the one that empowers you? Understand this. Failure strips away the non-essential. It reveals what you truly want, because only those who are serious will keep pressing forward after being knocked down. Failure has a way of separating the dreamers from the doers. If your vision is shallow, you will abandon it at the first sign of difficulty. But if your vision burns within you, failure cannot drive you away. It can only deepen your hunger. The greatest champions are not those who never fell. They are those who fell countless times and rose with a determination that refused to die. That is why failure is fuel. It feeds the fire of persistence. It strengthens your resolve. And it reminds you that the journey to success is not paved with comfort, but with courage. So when you face a setback, do not curse it. Thank it. Study it. Use it. Every time life knocks you down, rise with greater clarity. Every rejection teaches you resilience. Every mistake sharpens your strategy. Every delay builds your endurance. When you embrace failure as an ally, you rob it of its power to discourage you. It can no longer stop you. It can only serve you. The truth is simple. Failure only has the power you give it. If you treat it as the end, it will bury you. But if you treat it as the beginning of a new chapter, it will carry you. The choice is yours, and it always has been. So let failure fuel you, and you will discover that what once looked like defeat was merely the preparation ground for your victory. Confidence is not something you wait for, it is something you generate. Too many people sit back, hoping to feel ready before they move, as if certainty will suddenly appear like a light switch turning on. But readiness is a myth, and waiting for it is one of the greatest thieves of destiny. The truth is simple. Confidence is born from action, not from waiting. The very moment you step forward, even trembling, even uncertain, you set forces in motion that begin to build the momentum you need. Think about the times in your life when you accomplished something meaningful. Did you truly feel ready? Or did you take a leap, unsure of the outcome, only to discover along the way that you were more capable than you imagined? That is how confidence grows. It is not handed to you before the journey begins. It is carved out of the very journey itself. Action builds proof, and proof builds belief. With each step you take, you gather evidence that you can indeed handle the path ahead. Confidence has a magnetic quality. When you move with conviction, even before you have all the answers, others are drawn to you. Opportunities seem to appear, doors begin to open, and people become willing to follow your lead. But the opposite is also true. Hesitation repels progress. When you wait, when you second guess, when you linger in doubt, the momentum you need begins to die before it even starts. This is why boldness often produces results far beyond what timid preparation could ever accomplish. Acting before you feel ready does not mean acting carelessly. It means you refuse to be paralyzed by the illusion of perfection. You understand that progress requires movement, and movement breeds clarity. Each step reveals the next. Each attempt sharpens your skill. Each decision uncovers the lessons that prepare you for greater victories. But none of this can happen if you stand still, waiting for some imaginary moment when you finally feel completely certain. The most successful individuals are those who mastered the art of beginning before they were fully prepared. They launched ideas that weren't perfect, they pursued goals that seemed out of reach, and they dared to stand on stages, enter rooms, and face challenges that frightened them. And because they moved, they grew. Because they acted, they developed the very confidence others assumed they already had. Their secret was not that they felt fearless, but that they refused to let fear decide their timing. You must understand that momentum is a powerful ally. Once you start moving, the energy you create begins to carry you forward. Small wins stack upon each other, and what felt heavy at first becomes natural with repetition. The fear that once gripped you begins to fade as confidence takes its place. But momentum cannot exist without motion. You cannot think yourself into confidence. You must act your way into it. Even failure, when faced boldly, adds to your momentum. A failed attempt still moves you further than hesitation ever could, because it teaches, refines, and strengthens. The one who moves and fails has more power than the one who never moves at all. And often, it is the courage to try, even unsuccessfully, that plants the seeds of future triumph. So the next time you feel the weight of hesitation pressing on you, remind yourself of this truth. You will never feel fully ready. Readiness is not a prerequisite, it is a result. You become ready as you move. You gain confidence as you act. You grow capable because you dare to begin. The world rewards boldness, not timidity. It leans in to listen to the voice of conviction. It responds to the hand that reaches. It opens to the one who moves forward with faith. Do not wait another day, another hour, another moment for the perfect conditions. They will never come. But what you can create right now is momentum. And momentum, once born, can carry you further than you ever dreamed possible. So act before you feel ready, and soon you will discover that readiness was within you all along. There is one quality that separates the temporary achiever from the unstoppable champion, and that quality is persistence. Talent will take you far, opportunity may open doors, luck may grant you a moment of advantage, but only persistence guarantees you will remain until the victory is won. Persistence is the refusal to be denied, the unshakable decision that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many setbacks arise, no matter how many times you are knocked down, you will get back up and keep pressing forward. When you embody persistence, loss becomes impossible because defeat can only claim those who quit. Every dream worth having will test you. It will stretch you. It will push you to the edge of your patience, and it will challenge the depth of your desire. The path to greatness is not smooth or easy, and it is not meant to be. Obstacles are placed in your way, not to stop you, but to harden you, to refine you, to prove that you are serious about what you say you want. The man who persists develops strength that the quitter will never know. The woman who refuses to surrender gains a resilience that no storm can break. Think of the river that carves its way through solid rock. It is not the power of the water in a single moment that creates the canyon, but the steady, unyielding flow over time. Persistence works the same way in your life. Day after day, effort after effort, action upon action, you wear down the walls that stand in your way. What once looked immovable eventually crumbles under the pressure of consistent, determined pursuit. That is the miracle of persistence. You may encounter defeats along the way. You may stumble, lose battles, and even feel moments of discouragement, but these are not losses unless you allow them to be. Each setback is temporary, each disappointment a chapter, not the conclusion. Persistence transforms every detour into part of the journey. As long as you refuse to stop, you have not been defeated. You are still in the fight, still in the game, and still capable of turning everything around. The reason most people never see their dreams fulfilled is not because they lack ability, intelligence, or resources. It is because they quit too soon. They surrendered one step before the breakthrough, one call before the answer, one attempt before success. They chose comfort over endurance. But the one who persists cannot be beaten. The longer you remain, the greater the chances tilt in your favor, until eventually persistence wears down every obstacle, outlasts every delay, and conquers every opposition. Persistence is more than just stubbornness. It is vision married to discipline. It is the ability to see beyond the struggle into the reward that lies ahead. It is keeping your eyes fixed on the outcome while your hands continue to labor in the present. It is finding strength in the darkest hours because you know that darkness cannot last forever. The morning always comes to those who endure the night. This quality does not shout loudly or boast about itself. It is quiet, steady, and unwavering. It is waking up after failure and deciding to try again. It is facing rejection and refusing to accept it as the final word. It is believing that your dream is worth every ounce of effort, no matter how long it takes to realize. Persistence does not demand immediate results. It demands your loyalty, your grit, your willingness to keep going when others have already walked away. The world has no defense against a man or woman who will not stop. Time itself eventually yields to the persistent. Fortune bends in favor of those who keep pressing forward when all logic says turn back. Opportunity, even when delayed, cannot remain hidden forever from the one who refuses to quit searching. Every barrier eventually crumbles in the presence of relentless, consistent pressure. So make the decision now that no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult the road becomes, you will persist. Because when you do, you cannot lose. My friends, life will always test the strength of your vision. It will ask you if you truly believe. It will confront you with failure. It will challenge you to act before you feel ready. And it will demand persistence when everything in you wants to quit. But if you choose to act as if you cannot lose, then every challenge becomes your ally, every setback becomes your teacher, and every obstacle bends beneath the weight of your determination. Carry yourself with the certainty that victory is already yours, and let the world adjust to your unwavering resolve. Because the truth is this: the one who believes, the one who dares, the one who persists, cannot be defeated.